guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited about today's video for a couple of reasons. First, we're going to be talking about products that are from previous favorites throughout 2017, products that I'm still loving and using pretty regularly, and then products that I'm leaving. So either products that no longer are working for me or I'm currently not using and maybe why I'm not using them. I'm also excited for this video because it is in collaboration with Risa from Risa Does Makeup. If you're watching my channel, there's a high possibility that you're already subscribed to Risa's channel, but if you're not, I'm going to leave a link down below for her channel. She also is covering products that she's loving and leaving from 2017 past favorites videos. I recently connected with Risa through YouTube and I love her channel. I loved her honesty and her transparency with that. I also talked about her in a video not too long ago about a video I watched of hers when she talked about her start on YouTube. And I just found that video to be so honest and just real. I don't know. I just love her channel. Risa is a former makeup artist as well, just like me. She's actually been in the makeup industry for like 20 years. She even owned her own makeup boutique for a couple of years. So that gives her a lot of credibility. I think that, you know, what some people might not understand is that when you are a makeup artist or you have experience in makeup outside of just YouTube videos, you have experience doing makeup on all different types of skin tones, skin textures, you know, people that are older, people that are younger, different skin problems, you know, so you're not just dealing with the skin issues that you personally have, like myself. You kind of know products and recommendations for all different types of skin. So I think that's really cool, and I think that kind of sets her channel apart from others. So if you haven't checked her channel out, definitely check her out. I'll have her channel and her video linked down below. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so what I did was I looked at each month from 2017 and I looked at the list of favorites that I covered that month, and I picked out a couple of products, like 1 to 3 products that I am still loving and still using pretty regularly, and then a couple products that I haven't picked up in a while. So let's go ahead and get started with January. So in January, I have 3 favorites. I talked about the Persona Identity Palette, and I'm still loving this palette. I've actually since talked about it several times in other videos, and I did a tutorial with this palette. I absolutely love this eyeshadow palette. I really think you get everything that you need. Usually what I find in most palettes is they're missing a good brow highlight. And this one has that covered. You have 2 pretty good shades here. This one's very shimmery, so what I like to do is kind of mix the 2. But I feel like you can get a full, complete look with this palette. So if you're traveling and you want to pack light and only bring one eyeshadow palette, this one has got you covered. The quality is really nice. The pigments are beautiful and rich. I love Sona. If you're not familiar with Sona's channel, she's the YouTuber that created this palette. She's just I just love watching her videos. They're very nice to watch. They're very well produced. She's beautiful. She's also a former makeup artist. She has a great way of explaining things. Yeah, I just love her channel. So when she came out with this palette, I was anxious to get it, and I'm still loving it. It's still a favorite of mine. I also talked about the Viseart Neutral Matte Palette, which I've still talked about. I think I use this in almost every single video. It's pretty much a palette that I reach for daily. The quality of these shadows is definitely worth the hype. This is the only large Viseart palette that I own. They're kind of expensive. They're 80 bucks, so that's why I don't have several, but I am considering getting another. But I pretty much use these shades, right here, you know, almost daily. So this is a fantastic palette. I also talked about the MAC lipstick Kinda Sexy, which is funny because I recently talked about this in the video that was more recent than January. I mentioned how I rediscovered this. This has actually been a favorite of mine for years. I remember wearing this when I worked at MAC, which was like 10 years ago. It's just a fantastic nude peach shade. I like wearing nude lips, but I don't like them to be so muted that they look gray or too cool tone. This one's a beautiful pink. It's matte. It's got a lot of pigment, so it stays on the lips really well. It's a creamy matte, so it's not really drying on the lips. I just think it's absolutely beautiful. You can wear it alone and it's comfortable, or you can top it with a lip gloss as well. One product that I raved about in January that I'm not really using anymore is the Milk and Honey Cream Deodorant. And it's not that I have found anything wrong with this product. I still think it's a great product. This was the first natural deodorant that I discovered that I loved. Since then, I've discovered the Native Stick Deodorant, which I think is just as great as the Milk and Honey, but it's in a stick, so it's more convenient. This is a tub, so you have to use your fingers to get it out and rub it under your arms. I still think this is a phenomenal product. I still have it on my vanity for whenever I run out of the Native and I have to order it and it takes a little while to get here, I'll use this. But I just prefer the Native now because it's a stick formula and it's just easier to apply. It's just not easier to get for me because they sell this at the Whole Foods near my house, and the Native I have to order it online. But I'll leave a link down below for both, but Those are two fantastic natural deodorants. Again, the only reason I'm not using this is because it's not in a stick, and I have found one in a stick that I love. Okay, I don't know what was going on in February, March, and April, but I did not upload a favorites video those months. If you guys don't already know, I like to keep it really honest on my channel, and if I'm not using products that I love, I'm not just gonna do a favorites video for the sake of doing a favorites video, so I didn't do one for those months. The next favorites that I have is from May, and I talked about the Living Proof Frizz line of conditioner and shampoo, and I'm still loving this. This is still a shampoo and conditioner that I use. I rotate this between the Oribe line. I like the Oribe Signature line, and I like the Oribe Gold Lust line. The Living Proof is less expensive than the Oribe. The Oribe is pretty expensive. Both are phenomenal shampoos, but I picked this up at Sephora for the sale recently, so I'm currently still using this, and I love it. I have thick hair. I wouldn't say my frizz is, I have a lot of frizz, but I have a moderate level of frizz, and I like something that's going to make my hair look shiny and like not so dry, but I don't want it to weigh my hair down. And so I find that these do a great job of that. It's a very moisturizing conditioner, but it doesn't leave my hair weighed down. I can still get 3, maybe 4 days between washing my hair and using these products. So I absolutely love these. And these are safe for color treated hair. So if you color your hair like probably most of us do, these are gonna be fine for your hair. So I really, really like this line. I've tried some other Living Proof and they didn't work for me. Hair is so personal though. It's kind of like skin. So just because I love this and it works great for me, if you have more fine hair, it might not be your favorite. I tried the Living Proof in the purple bottle. I forget the name of that one, and I did not like it. It didn't really do much for me. This one is a much better product for my hair. I also talked about in May this lip liner. It's by Bite Beauty. It's the shade 26. You can see that this one had been loved quite a bit. I love this liner. The quality of this liner is so nice. It's so creamy and really, really pigmented. I like to fill in my entire lips with this. I'll line my lips and then I'll go in and kind of sketch the center just to avoid that lip liner look and also to keep my color on all day. I like it. It's a really pretty cool tone pink. It's a little bit brighter than like a nude pink, but you can definitely top it with a nude lipstick. You could use Kind of Sexy over this, which is the lipstick I just talked about. But yeah, I really, really love this. This is definitely a product that I'm going to be repurchasing. I've used it in several videos since. I love it. So when looking through May's favorites, there weren't any products that stood out to me as products that I'm necessarily leaving. There weren't any products that I had in there that I'm not still enjoying or not still using. So I didn't have any for that month. For June, I have some good ones to talk about. It was kind of a no-brainer when I looked at June's list on which ones I am still loving and excited to share with you, and then one that I'm not currently using, and not because I don't like it anymore, but just because the seasons change and it's not the best foundation for my skin now. But let's talk about what I'm loving. This face wash is one of my favorites. It's by Obagi, and it's the foaming gel. You can use it morning or night. I got this in June through the Glow program with Dermstore, which is like a program that you sign up for. You kind of talk about your skin concerns and then it recommends a regimen. And it recommended this cleanser, so I kind of purchased it blindly and I love it. This is still the same bottle that I've had since June, and I would say, I can't really see how much is in there, but it still feels like, I don't know, maybe I have a 1/6 of it left. It's 6.7 fluid ounces. I was using this daily for the first 2 to 3 months that I've had it. I don't use it daily anymore, but I still use it like 3 to 4 times a week, so I'm using it pretty regularly, and I still have a lot. I mean, it's December 14th, and I got this in June, so that's pretty, I forget the price of it, but I think it's moderately priced. Obagi is a premium line of skincare, and some of their products are pretty expensive, but I remember looking at this, and I thought it was kind of moderately priced for what I know of Obagi. But it's a foaming gel cleanser. It leaves your skin feeling really clean, but not dry or not stripped. I do feel the need to moisturize pretty quickly. It's not as much of a hydrating moisturizer as some other things like maybe a lotion or a cleansing oil. It's not as moisturizing as like a cream cleanser or a cleansing oil, but I find that it's not as stripping as some other gel cleansers that I've tried in the past. So I'm really, really enjoying this. The other product that I'm loving, that I'm still loving, and this is no surprise to you if you are not new to my channel, Foreo. I use the two together. So Foreo, if you're not familiar, it's a cleansing device. So think of like a Clarisonic, even though the two are completely different. It's a tool that you use to cleanse your skin similar to how you would use a Clarisonic. You don't need both tools. If you already have the Clarisonic and you love it, keep using that. You wouldn't use the two together. There's really no sense in having the two. But basically, there's a little button you press and this starts to vibrate. Squeeze your cleanser directly on here and you use it to cleanse your skin. You can keep this in the shower, get it completely submerged in water. It's fine. I've had this for about a year now and I've charged it one time. So it lasts for months and months and months on a full charge. It's just a great cleansing device. They sell these at Nordstrom, at Derm Store, at Sephora, and they come in different sizes. I will leave a link down below to a couple of different sizes and price points. I want to say this one is in the 200 or the 250 range. It's one of the more expensive ones, but they do have smaller ones. They even have a trial size one that's like, I think it's $40. You can't recharge it, but from what I understand, it lasts a couple of months. So you get either 50 to 100 uses out of it, somewhere in between there. I was told 50 and then I was told 100, but either way, you get to use it for a good month, 2 months to decide if you really like it before you spend the 200 or 250 on this guy. Also great for traveling. If you're someone that travels a lot, that's a great one because it's tiny. You can keep it in your travel bag and it won't take up much room. But I love this. It really makes washing my face at night something I look forward to. You know, I'm usually dead by the end of the night. I'm so tired, so exhausted, and honestly, if I don't wash my face early in the evening, if I wait till 10:30 or 11, which is kind of when I start getting, you know, when I brush my teeth and I get ready for bed, I just don't have it in me. But I enjoy it with this. It kind of makes my whole skincare routine a little bit more enjoyable. I also talked about the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. I'm still loving and using this. This is a fantastic drugstore foundation. It is matte, but it's also very lightweight. So to me, it doesn't look like a heavy, cakey foundation. And the longevity of this foundation is phenomenal. I've been wearing this recently because my skin's been more oily, and it just does a really great job of giving me the coverage that I want, but not settling in my lines and not getting shiny throughout the day. Like, it still stays very matte throughout the day, and it doesn't feel heavy and it doesn't look heavy, and the consistency again is very, very lightweight. So if you have more mature skin and you like full coverage and a matte finish, but you find that a lot of full coverage matte finish foundations tend to accentuate the texture in your skin, your pores, your fine lines, your wrinkles, give this one a try. I think that it's a really great foundation that hits all those marks, but is not heavy looking, if that makes sense. A foundation that I'm leaving for 2017, I'm not really leaving this product, but for right now, it's not the best product for me. It's the Hourglass Liquid to Powder Immaculate Foundation. I was loving this in June when I talked about it because it's a fantastic liquid to powder foundation, and it has great wearability. If you live in a hot climate or your skin is oily, this is a fantastic foundation because it does set to a powder. You don't have to powder it afterwards. And it really is long wearing. Right now, it's actually cold in Texas, and so I need something that gives my skin a little bit more life. When I use this, it just kind of makes my skin look very dull and very dry. So this is something that currently at the moment is not something that I am using. I'm gonna leave this product and maybe pick it back up in March or April. July was a pretty easy month for me too in terms of identifying the products that I'm still loving and the products that I'm leaving. One of the products that I first want to talk about that I'm loving is the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-hour blush in the color Party. This was Sephora's birthday gift this year, I want to say, so chances are a lot of you probably already have this, and I absolutely love it. I think it's the easiest blush to grab and just apply with any eye makeup you look at. It just works with everything. It's a very beautiful neutral. It has a little bit of pink and a little bit of peach. It has a matte finish, but it almost has like this very subtle sheen. So it's not shimmery and frosty, but it gives your cheeks a little bit of life. So I really love this color. It's perfect pretty much for everybody. If you have really dark skin, it might not be, you might need to go with something a little bit deeper, but anyone that's fair to a little bit darker than me, I think this blush would look fantastic on you. This is a product that I definitely will repurchase once I run out of it, but I find myself grabbing this. I would say at least half the week I'm wearing this blush. I love it. Another product that I discovered in July, thanks to you guys, is the Milani eyeshadow primer. I asked in July, because I think I did a drugstore tutorial, and I asked you guys for recommendations for a great drugstore eye primer. It was overwhelmingly suggested that I pick up this primer, and I use this every single day. And this is the same tube that I purchased in July, and I still have half of it left. A really nice sheer eyeshadow primer. It kind of reminds me of the Shadow, it kind of reminds me of the Too Faced, is it the Shadow Potion or Shadow Insurance? Which I used to love and use all the time. It's a little translucent, but it has a tiny bit of a brightening effect, so it is going to kind of brighten the eyelids a little bit. If you have a lot of veining through your eyelids and you really like to cover that, then you might want something with a little more coverage, like the MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre, or a really good concealer that sets really nicely. But I like this because it's very sheer. I may wear a lot of makeup, but my whole approach is wearing little bitty layers of a lot of makeup, and I like this because it is so sheer and lightweight that I can apply shadow on top of it, and it's not going to look really heavy. The two products that I picked from July that I'm leaving are the Essence lipsticks, and I don't know why I'm leaving this. I just never really grab it. I bought these in July because they were so inexpensive. I discovered them in Ulta. I got the shade Nude Love, and then I got more of a pinky shade that I couldn't find for this video. I still think they're good lipsticks. I'm just not really using them much right now. I don't really have anything else to say about it other than that. Maybe I should try to use them, but I haven't really used them much since July. The other product that I talked about in July that I was loving that I'm not really using so much anymore is the Revlon Youth Effects Fill and Blur Concealer. I bought this along with the corresponding foundation that Revlon launched at the time, which I really did not like. It was supposed to be like age define and make your skin look younger, but I really thought that it just made my skin look older and more dehydrated, and it just settled everywhere. I was not a fan. I was a fan of this concealer. I haven't been using it recently, and I think it's just because I've been using the It Cosmetics concealer and the Kevyn Aucoin concealer, and those have been my kind of go-to favorites. This also sets to be a little bit more dry, and again, my skin is a little bit more dry right now, so I want something more hydrating. But I do think that this is a great concealer to keep in your makeup bag for touching up. It's just not something that I put on in the mornings anymore. It's just a product that I kind of was loving when I first purchased it, got some newer products, put it aside, and I haven't really picked it up since. Okay, for August, I don't have a whole lot to talk about. I have one still loving product and one leaving product. The product that I'm still loving are the Face Atelier lip glosses. I got sent this one, and I also got sent one called Peach, and Peach was in a larger size. This is just a smaller size of it. If you are not familiar with Face Atelier, I fell in love with their Ultra foundation. It's one of my favorite foundations, and I've raved about that foundation on my channel so much. I feel like it's like my first love that I just can't get over. It's just, I always go back to it. And not that I can't get over my first love. Take that back. It's just a foundation that I keep going back to. I love it so much. I think it's great for all skin types, but especially more mature skin. But anyway, I'm not gonna talk about that foundation. I'll leave links of videos where I've talked about that foundation before. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that that was the only product from Face Atelier that I had tried. They reached out to me because I had been raving about their product, and I guess somehow it got back to them. Either some of you guys purchased it and mentioned it, or I'm not quite sure, but anyway, they contacted me and they were like, thank you so much for, you know, supporting our products and yada, yada, yada. We'd love to send you some things. And I just said, send me some things that are some of your best sellers that you think my viewers would love to know about. And they sent me 2 lip glosses, and I love them. They kind of remind me of the Juicy Tubes because of the packaging. The consistency, they're very shiny, like ultra high shine, just like the Juicy Tubes are, but they're not as sticky or thick like the Juicy Tubes. I don't mind sticky, tacky lip glosses, but I know a lot of people don't like that. These are a little thinner and smoother. They don't feel so sticky on the lips. This is the shade Memphis, and you can see that it has a good amount of color. The shade Peach that I got, which I can't find, it's in some purse somewhere, is more sheer. It has shimmer to it. It's a great lip topper, where this has a little more color. You can wear it alone. The color isn't long wearing, so to be honest, if I put this on my lips with nothing underneath it, it'd probably fade within an hour and a half, 2 hours. But if it's great for those days that you just want to get out of the house, run to Target, run to the grocery store, and you don't have time to put a full face of makeup on, but you want something easy to throw on, this is great. You can also throw it on top of whatever you're wearing. But yeah, I love these lip glosses, and they come in small sizes, so you can throw them in a makeup bag or a small clutch. Really, really love this. The product that I decided I'm leaving is the Bumble and Bumble Dry Shampoo, and not necessarily because I don't like this product anymore, but I've had a little issue with, like, I don't know if it's dandruff or eczema or what, but I've had flakiness in my scalp. And I can't believe I'm sharing that because I know that's kind of gross, but I reached out to my friend who's a hairdresser, and I said, what are the best shampoos for dandruff, or what should I use? And she recommended a few products, and then she said, but first you need to find out what's causing your dandruff. And I'm like, well, I don't know. It just really started out of nowhere. And she's like, are you eating more dairy? Are you eating more sugar? And I was like, well, not more than normal. But then I thought, well, I have been drinking a little bit of more wine. Like, I don't know if it's the season or what, but I've had a lot more social outings recently. And anyway, and I thought, well, maybe it's more wine. And she's like, it's probably the wine. And I'm like, I was hoping you wouldn't tell me it was the wine. Anyway, she told me it's probably the wine, but I'm like, nope, I refuse to believe that. I got to find something else to blame it on. So I am in search for my scapegoat. I'm finding something else to blame it on, and I'm gonna blame it on this. Cautiously. I really can't blame it on this, but I kind of eliminated dry shampoos for a while because I thought, well, maybe it's drying out my scalp, I don't know. So it's just a product that I haven't been using just because of that. This could be totally unrelated to my dandruff issue. It probably is the wine, but I refuse to give up my wine. I refuse. September was a great month for beauty finds. I have 4 products that I fell in love with in September that I'm still using daily. The first is this Fine Vine Activated Coconut Charcoal Powder. That's a long title. Basically, it's just one of those charcoal powders to whiten your teeth. I was with a girlfriend one day and she was just looking in the mirror kind of complimenting her own teeth. And I was like, what are you using? And she told me she was using a charcoal powder. She didn't know the name, she didn't know the brand, she just said she ordered it off Amazon. So that day I went home, got on Amazon, Googled it. This was the first brand that popped up. I ordered it and I love it. I really started noticing results within like the first couple of days. And so I talked about this in September and I'm still loving it. I've always used whitening products, but I have very sensitive teeth, so I could never use the white strip or even the gel. I could never use those for more than like, I don't know, a week consecutively because it just made my teeth so sensitive. And this doesn't affect my teeth at all. Basically, you just grab your toothbrush, wet it, dip it in here, brush your teeth. I let it sit for like 30 seconds. I brush for like 2 minutes, let it sit, and then I rinse it out, and then I follow it up with my normal toothpaste. And seriously, guys, I noticed a difference within a couple of weeks. It didn't make my teeth sensitive at all. I love it. I think it's a fantastic natural way to whiten your teeth. I actually am going to do a video next week on how I use this. It's really simple. I don't really think you need a video on how to use it, but I did notice a couple things that I found to work better than when I first started using it. So I'm going to share that in a video. Another product that I talked about in September that I'm still loving is this Anastasia Beverly Hills Blush Trio. It comes in several shades. I picked up the shade Pool Party because I thought it had very wearable shades that I could use every single day. It has this nice matte kind of dusty rose shade. It has this brighter pink with a little bit of shimmer. Honestly, when I put this on my cheeks, I don't really see any of that shimmer. And then it has this matte peach, which I kind of wear year round. These two are the ones that I wear regularly. But I love this. The quality is really great. The pigment is great. It goes on very nicely. It stays on all day. It doesn't get patchy. This is another product that I've been loving. This brow pencil is another product that I can thank you guys for telling me about. It's the NYX Micro Brow Eyebrow Pencil, and it's a pretty great dupe for the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. It's just a really fine eyebrow pencil. I love it. If you're using the Brow Wiz by Anastasia Beverly Hills, give this one a try. It's literally a fraction of the price. I think this was like $5 or something. Fantastic brow pencil. I really have no reason to buy the Brow Wiz again. Yeah, I think this is just as good, if not better. The one product that I talked about that I was loving is the Dermalogica SPF 50 Moisturizer. I'm not really using that anymore. I think it's a really great, rich, emollient, hydrating moisturizer, and the SPF of 50 you really can't beat. I was getting really oily there for a little while, and I don't know if that moisturizer was just too rich for my skin. I've since switched to the Drunk Elephant Serum. I forget the name of it. It has the blue lid. It's a tall bottle, and I'm still forming my opinion of that product. I've only been using it for about a week, so I need to kind of give it some more time to decide how my skin likes it. I also picked up the SPF by Drunk Elephant, the tinted one that has a little bit of glow, and I think I really like that one. I've only been using it again for a week, so give me a little bit more time to decide, but I've since left the Dermalogica SPF 50 Moisturizer, and I'm combining those two products by Drunk Elephant, so I will let you guys know what I think about those. Okay, October was a month that I found 3 favorites that I'm still loving, and I didn't find any that I'm leading. The Milani Conceal and Perfect Foundation. I love this foundation. This is a fantastic drugstore foundation. If I compare it to the L'Oreal Matte one, which I talked about earlier in this video, they're both drugstore. This one's heavier in consistency, so this one's thicker. I think this one gives a little bit more coverage. They're both pretty good coverage, but I would say this one gives a teeny bit more. This one doesn't set to as matte of a finish as the L'Oreal, so it has more of a natural finish. I have the shade Light Beige, but this is a foundation that I definitely will repurchase. It's a foundation that I still use regularly, and I just think it makes the skin look really pretty. Again, it is a little bit heavier and thicker than the L'Oreal, so if you are someone that likes to feel nothing on their skin, or you don't like that feel of a makeup, this might not be one you go for, but if you don't mind that, and you haven't tried this foundation, I would recommend giving it a try. I also talked about the Kevyn Aucoin concealer. Still loving this guy. It's just a really great concealer and highlighter in one. It gives great coverage. It sets really nicely. It doesn't stay creamy under the eyes, so it doesn't fade or crease or cause your eyeliner or mascara to transfer. I just really, really like it. Sometimes I'll use it on top of a concealer as a little bit more of a highlighter. Sometimes I use it by itself. This is a product that I definitely will be repurchasing. I like the doe foot wand, easy application. Yeah, just a great product all around. I also talked about this perfume. Juliette Has the Gun is the brand, and the name of the perfume is not a perfume. They got real creative with that name. I am out of this. I need to go get some more. I had thought I was gonna get some from the Sephora sale and I totally forgot. Fragrance is one of my favorites. I get compliments on this all the time. They're not a fragrance that's just like you walk by and it's just like, whoa, in your face, but it's just something that's subtle. It smells clean, it smells sexy. I don't know, I'm not really great at describing fragrances, but love this fragrance. I seriously get compliments every time I wear it. I didn't have any products that I'm leaving for October, so let's move on to the last month that I have for you, which is November. In November, I raved about this powder, and I'm gonna say still that I think this is like one of the best setting powders. It's the Donessa Myryx Beauty Translucent Powder. And a subscriber told me to pick this up at the makeup show in September. Honestly, I hadn't really heard much about Donessa Myryx. I had to kind of go search and look at my phone and say, what was that brand she wanted me to get? I got this in her Vision Cover Foundation, which is like a full coverage foundation. And I love this, you guys. It's so beautiful on the skin. It's very, very lightweight. It just does a great job of setting your makeup and mattifying things, but then disappearing. So it doesn't leave this like dry powdered look on the skin or the foundation. It doesn't change the integrity of the foundation, I find. And it also is like soft blurring. So I feel like it really does minimize my pores and make everything just look a little bit more smooth and airbrushed. It's even light enough to where I can apply this under my eyes and it doesn't dry out that area or accentuate any fine lines that I have underneath my eyes. I got the shade 01. On the website, I did see that there are other shades, but I wanted the lightest, most translucent, and yeah, I really, really like it. I haven't seen it in retailers here in Austin. Maybe if you live in another market, they have it sold in stores, but I'll just leave a link to where you can get this below. I also talked about the Oribe Light Reflective Shine Spray. So I talked about this product not only in November, but I was looking at previous months and I talked about this in some other months too. So sorry for duplicating that. I really don't realize it. When I'm creating and planning my favorites videos, I really look at the products that I'm loving and using regularly. And this one has made it into a couple of months, but it's just a fantastic shine product for your hair. My hair, to me, does have a dry, coarse texture, and I want to give it some shine and some life, but I don't want to put anything thick or heavy in it. This Light Reflective Shine Spray is so fine. I don't know if you can see it there. It is so fine. After I've styled my hair, I just spray it all over my hair and then I kind of run my fingers through it to just evenly apply it. It smells so good and it just gives your hair this instant shine without weighing it down, without feeling heavy. I try and avoid the root area. I really just try and spray it like mid-section down, but it's beautiful. I mean, it's a product that I spray and I instantly see that shine and I see the light reflecting off my hair. Oribe is just a phenomenal line of hair care products. I can't say enough about their line. They are very expensive, so I'm just gonna get that out of the way. I had a viewer one time kind of get after me for talking about them because they are so expensive. If I could find a great product from the drugstore that would work on my hair, trust me, I would be all about it. But I have such difficult hair, I think, that I just haven't found that. So if you have a drugstore product that you love and you have hair similar to mine, please let me know below because I would be in debt to you forever. If I ever had another child, I would name them after you if you could share a product from the drugstore that would work on my hair. So leave that down below, please, if you have the secret. The product that I raved about that I hate to say that I'm leaving it because I still think this is a fantastic product. But again, the season's changing, my skin is changing, and I'm finding that this foundation is not really working well for me with this colder, drier climate that we're having. It's the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation and Concealer. This foundation is a fantastic long wear full coverage foundation. You put this guy on in the morning and you don't have to touch up, and it's gonna look good all day long. My skin right now is starting to go from being really oily to feeling more dry and kind of lifeless. And so I have to use foundations that are a little lighter weight right now. So for that reason only, I'm gonna say that I'm leaving this product, but I know that I'll be picking this back up when we get into like March, April of next year. But I wanted to share that with you because if you watch that video and you live in a climate, that's cold and dry right now and you have drier skin, this might be something that you try and you're not loving, and I just want to explain why. So, well, that wraps up this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I'm gonna leave a link to Risa's video and her channel down below in the description box. So check that out. I'm very anxious to see what products she's loving and leaving for 2017. I hope you guys are having a fantastic holiday season. This is the best time of the year. I love this time of the year. I think as my kids get a little bit older, I just love it even more. I mean, my 3-year-old, this is the first year where I feel like she is, you know, she has a Christmas list, she has things she wants, and I'm so excited to, I don't know, I'm just so excited about Christmas. So I hope you guys are enjoying this season. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.